Hello and welcome. Today we will be discussing my core investments. In the last video we covered my core investments in the global stock market with ETFs. Today I will explain why I also invest in other areas, specifically real estate and gold. As you may recall, my core investments are the global stock market, the real estate, and gold. We will focus on real estate and gold today. And I will explain why, from my perspective, you should considering owning them. Let's start with real estate. You can view real estate as an investment or as a way to improve your living situation. First and foremost, I believe you should always own at least one property. Here's why: security and shelter. If anything unexpected happens in the world, you always have a place to live. Inflation hedging. Real estate typically performs well against inflation, especially when financed with a mortgage. When you take out a mortgage, you essentially take on a debt that you pay off over time. Due to inflation, the real value of this debt decreases over time. Let me illustrate this with an example. If you're paying 1,000 euro for your mortgage debt today, in 10 years, that same 1,000 euro will have less purchasing power due to inflation. For instance, with an average inflation rate of 2% over 10 years, your 1,000 euro monthly debt payment will effectively feel like around 820 euro in today's money. This means the impact of your debt on your income and spending decreases. Consider this. If you're earning today 3,000 euro and your debt payment is 1,000 euro, after 10 years, your salary should ideally increase with inflation. If your income rises to, say, 3,600 euro, so again with 2% inflation over 10 years, that same 1,000 euro debt payment will now represent a smaller percentage of your income, around 28%. Before it was 33%. This is a crucial point. Real estate works best as an investment when you leverage it with debt. If you own real estate outright without debt, you are primarily relying on the increase in its value. However, with a mortgage, you benefit from the eroding effects of inflation on your debt. Additionally, if you buy a real estate as an investment, rents are likely to increase over time, while your fixed debt payments remain the same. This also contributes to an increase in your net income and the value of your investment. So I will summarize it quickly. First, real estate gives you a shelter and security in any circumstances. Leverage investment potential when you finance it with debt, allowing inflation to reduce the real burden of your debt. Increasing rental income over time, further enhancing your financial position. Now, let's talk about gold. Gold is important to own because it often behaves inversely to assets like stocks and real estate. What does this mean? For example, during a stock market crash, the price of gold typically increases. This is why gold provides stabilization to your portfolio. It acts as a counterbalance. While it may not offer significant growth, it generally maintains its value against inflation or even outperforms it in times of crisis. Gold's primary role in your portfolio is to provide stability and liquidity when you need it most. If the stock market crashes and you need access to cash, selling your stocks might not be ideal. Real estate can also be difficult to sell quickly in an economic downturn. However, if gold prices are rising during such a period, it becomes a perfect asset to sell to generate liquidity. This cash can then be used to buy more stocks at a discount, cover daily expenses if you have lost your job, or for any other urgent need. It's vital to have investments that can support you during various crises. As I mentioned, if the stock market crashes, gold prices are likely to increase, making it a perfect asset to sell for liquidity. If you lost your job or face other crises where you might lose your rented apartment, you have your own property to fall back on. And with real estate, especially when inflation is high, the value of your debt decreases, which is a significant advantage. By holding these three core investments, the global stock market, real estate, and gold, you position yourself to benefit from various economic situations, whether it's a stock market crash, high inflation, or other unforeseen circumstances. In the next video, I will be discussing my satellite investments and other assets I own, providing insight into why I hold them. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I will see you next time.